Hey guys and girls, welcome back to another beautiful video on this beautiful channel. What we're working with today is our console RPG. So I changed a few things from last time. What you want to do is you want to go into your character and you want to go into initialize and you want to just change this. Now HP max used to be under HP, stamina max used to be under stamina, but you want to just switch these two and then define or give these variables these values that I've written. And now this is just to kind of automate our process that as we change these four, everything else is going to change. So as we add new variables and new attributes and stuff, they're going to automatically change. Now this initialize function is only called once, but later on we can reuse these formulas, so to speak, and kind of automatically change these attributes as we change these. Now in level up, everything seems the same. Just go ahead and add that. And I haven't changed a bunch else. In your item, just go into your item and go ahead and change this. Now, what I did was I added two new attributes called Rarity and Level. Now, Level and Rarity are going to help us generate weapons automatically because we're not going to have a level cap in the game. As you get stronger, as you get bigger, you're going to get better and better weapons, right? And we want to be able to auto-generate those using level and rarity. Now, this is going to be like your legendary, your common, or whatever. And just in the constructor, go ahead and add level here and add rarity. So, yeah, we can just create our item. And in your item.h file, your header file, go ahead and do the same thing. Now, and just give these the default values here. Just go ahead and copy this. I hope you understand all this as well. These are default values, and you can give specific values in here, but if you don't give a value, the default value will be used. So go ahead and do that. Now we have a debug print. What we need to get started with here, actually, before we get into our weapon and stuff. Now I made weapon H and armor H and just played around a little with them. I'll explain everything else in here as we go along, but I just thought I'd make them because it's a tedious process. Now, what we really need is we need accessors, and we need accessors and modifiers. Now this what do you call it? The item weapon is going to inherit from item, but it's not going to be able to access all of these values, its own values actually, directly, unless you kind of put it in protected and do some special stuff. But if you want to access these, you're gonna have to do it through functions, right? Because weapon is gonna be able to access everything that is public from item. Now this thing here does not say that item is publicly inherited or something. This means that weapon inherits everything that is public from item. And everything that is private, it inherits as well, but it can't really access them directly. That's why we need these functions here. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and do const get name, const std string get name, const. Okay, and you could just pass this as a constant reference. Constant reference. Let me just see how you did that. I can't really remember. I think that was it. And we don't have to actually, I don't really like to fill my item.cpp up with all these modifiers and accessors and stuff. So I'm just going to do return this name right in here. I think that's a little nicer as well. We're going to make a bunch of these. Whoops. And get, what else do we have? Get level. And then return this level. And we're going to just make that int. I'll use inline because this function is defined in here. Someone taught me that and it just feels better. I don't know. If you know a better way, don't use inline. I got to read a little bit more about that. But it feels good. Yeah, this get by value as well. Value. And then by value. I'll just copy this. Just copy that. Go ahead and do this cell value. This is a tedious process as well, but programming is tedious at times. And then you gotta return rarity. get rarity. Whoops, get and get buy value, get sell value, get rarity. There we go. Rarity. There we go. We have getters or accessors for all of these. Now we could make modifiers as well to set these, but we don't really need them right now because we'll just set them through our constructor. So let's go ahead into weapon and weapon H, and I'll explain everything I did. Now, what you want to do is you want to include item in your weapon H. Just first create these two files, two header files and two CPP files, and in your CPP files include that header file you created. Okay, so weapon CPP is going to be including weapon.h, and weapon.h is going to be including item.h in order to actually inherit from it. So go ahead and do that. Do the same thing in armor. Go ahead and make an armor class, inherit from item, include item.h in armor.h. Okay, and to fix our includes first, go ahead and go into character and see that character is including inventory, right? And inventory is actually included item in your old code. Now in this new code, you're going to remove that and you're going to include weapon and armor instead, because weapon and armor are in turn including item. So that's going to be automatically included through these two in here. Now game is going to include inventory, or character includes inventory and game includes character. So like a chain, these includes are going to follow each other into game, where we can test stuff. Now in game.h or game.cpp, I tried creating a weapon using my constructor and it worked. Now first I'm going to just explain what I did. So just copy all of this, give your default values to these. Now every weapon is going to have a name and stuff, but we can't access them like I said directly, so we're going to use items getters to access them. Anyhow, damage min and damage max are weapons own variables, right? Member variables, and we can access them directly. And we have to initialize them in the weapon constructor. Now the weapon constructor consists of two parts. It's its own constructor with all of the values for item and weapon together, right? All the name, level, all that stuff from item, as well as its own damage min and damage max. And to initialize a weapon's name, which inherits from item, we're going to have to call the item constructor, which we created here, right? So what we do is in the initialization list here, we initialize item, the item part of a weapon. I hope you're following me here. It's kind of complicated. Excuse me, complicated. Since there's a bunch of stages, but if you see it, it's kind of like self-explanatory. You call items constructor in here, and you shove in all these variables here into this, so you don't have to do two constructors, right? In the same here, like you don't have to define name again in here. So you just define these two, or initialize these two. Excuse me. These two variables, and then you call items constructor. Sorry for babbling. That's how you do it. Copy that, and that should work. And I made a weapon toString, which just prints out the damage min and damage max, and returns that string. So if I did it correctly, it should work. Just give it a name and 2 and 5. Yep, and we print out the minimum damage and the maximum damage. So we created a weapon. Now to create the armor, it's the same thing. Now armor is just going to have a type. Let's say a arm piece or a leg piece or something, int, and then int defense. Okay, it's gonna add additional defense in here. Now we can just straight up copy everything from this, and we can put it in here, and we could just say armor, and change this to type, and change this to defense. Okay, and just say armor right here. Bam. There we go. And we can go into weapon here and just copy everything into armor. Remove that. You don't need that. There we go. Armor, armor, and then change these type, defense. Okay. type defense type. See all this tedious work you got to do for programming. It's still fun. Somehow it still managed to be really fun. Armor, and then you do armor toString, this type, and this defense. Now, what we're gonna have to do for future reference is we have to make item a pure virtual function. Now, I know that that might be magic to you somehow, but what that means is we cannot create an item by itself. An item is just there as a template for weapon and armor. So you can't make an item. You can't create an item, but you can create a pointer to an item that we use in our this thingy right here, our inventory class. So you can only make pointers to this class. You cannot make a direct item. You need to make an armor or weapon, which then includes item. So to make it pure virtual, you need a single pure virtual function, and in this case we need a clone function. So virtual clone, so item clone, and then bam, const. So it's going to return a item and then equals 0. This makes it pure virtual, so you don't have to define it. And now this whole class is a virtual class. You can't create item anymore. You need to create a weapon or an armor, which inherit item. And this this clone function has to be defined in weapon and armor for these functions to even be able to exist. So here we can use pure virtual functions, the ones we really have to have. And in this case, it's clone. So virtual clone weapon. Just make a weapon pointer. Let's just see how I did that. Okay. Oh, whoops. Weapon clone const. Now we need to define this in here, in weapon, right under here. Weapon pointer, weapon clone. And then what it's going to do is return new weapon this. Okay, so it's going to return a new copy of this, and this is going to help us in inventory later. And this might be just making no sense right now, but I'll show you as we go along. I promise I'll show you how this works, because this is really important. Instead of making a bunch of checks for what type of item we're trying to put in, we can just let the class clone itself and shove itself into the inventory, instead of in here having to check a bunch of things. And you'll see us going along how that works. So we're going to have to change a bunch of things in here for this inventory to even work. So here we're going to, for example, have to do bar equals this item ri. We're going to have to change a bunch of things in here. Just go ahead and do that right now. And then change a bunch of things. Delete everything from item array. Don't delete the full, actually don't delete all of this. Just delete item array, and then item array equals temp array, and initialize it. That's what you want to do. And in add, you want to here say item.clone, like that. So just copy this. Just copy this for now. Don't worry too much about it. Copy this, and we'll just see if this still works. Armor hasn't really defined it yet, but we're not trying to create an armor, so it won't really matter. 2.5, it works. Okay. But this is important. Now to define armor, pure virtual, we're gonna virtual armor clone const. And go ahead and define that. Remove virtual armor clone const. There we go. And then return new armor this. Just like that. bam. So depending on if it's an armor or a weapon in inventory, it's gonna clone itself and just shove itself in there. Otherwise, we'd had to make, where's add? There. Otherwise, we'd have to make a check in here that it's an item is being added. Well, what item is that? Is that a weapon? Okay, it's a weapon. Put it in here. If it's a different class, we're gonna get a problem, right? So instead of having a bunch of classes fighting for this position, we'll just let weapon and armor copy themselves into inventory by themselves, so we don't have to make a bunch of different checks. So just follow that and we'll be fine, just like that. And character .h is going to have a inventory in our private section right here, and let's just put that above here. So it's gonna have an inventory and a weapon and a armor, just like this. Okay, we have our stuff in here. They're all null right now. They're just default values. And we'll see if this works. Nope, that didn't work. Armor class private member declared. Whoops, let's see. Okay, character needs include of inventory. Inventory has include of armor and weapon. So let's just see here. What is it saying? Cannot access private member declared in class armor. Whoops, that's not good. Inventory. Let's see, we're gonna have to fix this. So what could the problem be? Armor cannot access private member. And armor. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird, isn't it? We could make an armor and a weapon, but is it inventory that's the problem? Let's see. Console RPG armor H is inaccessible. Let's see if our constructors are correct. Type defense item. Okay, everything else seems fine. I don't see a problem in here. Let's go to character and remove inventory. See if this works. I think there's a problem with armor in itself. Access. So I'll do this just like that, and we'll see what the problem is. Something in here is an issue. Armor. Did I spell them correctly? Armor. Okay, I think this has to do with item. Pragma once is in there. Item. What if we just not include armor in character or in inventory? What if we do this? Nope. There we go. See if this works. If it does, we'll just go ahead and... Yep, it worked. Okay, so sorry about that. We'll go ahead and fix that in the next video then. I'll just keep checking on what that is. I think it has something to do with our include, which isn't really working properly as it should. And it's being included several times. Let's just do inventory, include armor. Let me check that out. That worked. Okay, so keep the includes. Something in armor is screwing up. It must be something in here that isn't properly fixed. Whoops, my bad. Private, public. It's a newbie mistake. Never mind that. Okay, so what you want to do is switch private and public here. That's so dumb. I'm so sorry. Armor. There we go. Now this should be working properly. Yes, it is. Okay, Lail, and we got to 5. Good job. Sorry about that stupid noob mistake. Maybe you already figured that out and were like, what the hell is he doing? Why is he even going, making that private and public? But we fixed the problem. Thanks for watching, and you guys are great. Keep supporting and stuff. And thanks for all the support, by the way, and you guys are commenting and asking me questions and stuff. I'm not the best programmer in the world, but it's really fun. So I hope you're learning something, and hope you learned a little bit about what do you call it, inheritance today. So yeah, keep working hard, and just keep commenting and watching videos and stuff. And I'll see you in the next video. Okay? Yep. Bye bye.